While Congress was able to pass a short-term measure to end the government shutdown, it comes without much progress on this immigration deal that would address DACA. Confusion last week over what Donald Trump would and wouldn't support for immigration policy led several members of Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, to point fingers at White House Chief of Staff John Kelly and Senior Policy Advisor Stephen Miller.
Talked with the president. His heart is right on this issue. I think he's got a good understanding of what will sell, and every time we have a proposal, it is only yanked back by staff members. As long as Stephen Miller is in charge of negotiating immigration, we're going nowhere.
Time and again, the president says one thing in a meeting and then, or even in a tweet, and then his White House staff has to go back and change things. And I don't think they know what they're doing over there. There's just absolute incompetence.
This is the third or fourth time on this issue he's made some kind of commitment and then backed off because he's afraid of the right wing. Whether Stephen Miller does it, whether General Kelly doesn't steer him in the right direction and just lets it happen, I don't know.
Any effort to kill immigration reform usually has Mr. Miller's fingerprints on it. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's a part of this.
Known for their hardline stances on immigration, the presence of these two gentlemen, Kelly and Miller, in the Trump White House is leaving critics to question who really makes decisions. As Bloomberg Politics reports, the criticisms, quote, elevate usually anonymous backroom players into center stage roles at a time when questions already exist about whether Trump has a firm grip on his own White House. Well, here to talk more about this, Kelsey Snell is back with us, congressional reporter for NPR, and Anita Kumar returns to our broadcast, White House correspondent for McClatchy Newspapers. Anita, just first off, I'm looking at the headlines on the web tonight. Exasperation with Schumer, angry talk of primaries among the Dems on the left, demoralization on the left for what they feel was a fruitless shutdown. What just happened, and what just happened to Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, I mean, he's just getting criticized so much by people on the left. Progressive groups are so upset. Groups that support DACA and Dreamers are so upset. So, you know, basically he agreed to what it seemed like he had a few days ago, and at least that's what the White House says. Nothing changed. He agreed to have the votes to open up the government, and for that he got a commitment that they would work on immigration policy, including protections for Dreamers, by February 8th. So as you noted, less than 3 weeks. I'm not sure how much they're going to get done in less than 3 weeks. But so, I mean, really, members of his party who didn't vote for it, people on the left are very upset with him, and they thought he didn't get anything from it. I know one person told me today that Democrats should have demanded. They had a meeting with the president today, and they didn't do that. This is the president, of course, who promised a bill of love. Anita, I note that you predicted January 10th. There were warnings. GOP negotiators say Trump aide Stephen Miller is standing in the way of an immigration deal. Memo to Washington and readers of McClatchy. If Anita makes a prediction about you, pay attention. Yeah, I mean, we were hearing from Republican members and Republican staffers on the Hill that they just didn't like that he was there in the negotiating room. And they just felt that what he was saying, it was just so many complaints about him. But basically, he would not back down from, he didn't want to negotiate. He had so many things that he wanted in exchange for protections for Dreamers. They felt that it was unrealistic and that he didn't really want a deal. He was proposing so many things just so that they could not have a deal. Now, let's see here. Kelsey, our friends,